Hello, everybody. This is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover, and we're going to do a review today, but it's going to be a little bit different from what I normally do. Um, yeah, it's early morning, and I got a little bit of caffeine. Got to get ready to go to work here in a little while. But anyway, good morning, everybody. All right, so I'll set that down, and all right, now we're going to get started. What we're going to do today is something. Now, I got to be honest with you. I can't stand reality shows. Okay, all that stuff like Kardashians, Jersey Shore, a lot of that stuff. I can't stand that stuff. But there is actually one that I don't mind, and this is the one we're going to talk about. And I think when I tell you which one, well, you're already going to know because it's going to be in the title. But when you see which one, it's like, yeah, well, for obvious reasons, yeah, we know why you like this, but it's a little bit more different. What we're going to be talking about is Playboy, the girls next door. See, I told you it was early morning. I can hardly talk. The Girls Next Door, season one and season two. I believe altogether that there are six seasons of this series, but unfortunately, these are the only two I have at the moment. I'd like to pick up the other ones, try to complete the series, but excuse me, sorry. But anyway, yeah, I mean, actually, this is like the one time I actually don't mind a reality show. And, like I said, I'm sure everybody's like, yeah, we know why you like this. It's like, no, yeah, kind of, but there's a little bit more to it. Yeah, this series, when did it first start? I think it was like 2001 or something, or no, 2005. Okay, so it was like 2005 to like 2011 or something like that. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure people remember the show. You remember the three girls. You got, Holly, Bridget, and Kendra. And, yes, in case if anybody's wondering, see, I'm sure they edited it when it was on television. But yeah, if you were ever interested, like checking the show, I was like, well, do you ever see the girls in all their full naked glory and all that stuff? It's like, no, you get it on DVD. Yeah, you will see it. And they look great and everything. But the thing about this show is yeah, if you're gonna look for that, you're gonna see that on here. But what you're really gonna what's really gonna tie you into this show is do the personalities of the girls and do kind of like the things that they do, like their interests and their hobbies and the things that they get into, the places they go and all this other kind of stuff. Does that draw you in? And I guess it depends on your personal taste. I mean, for me, actually, it does draw me in. It's like, I actually like the girls and their personalities and stuff. I mean, I admit, okay, like, while Kendra Wilkinson, while she's, super hot, it's like there are moments she can be incredibly annoying. I think even if I remember, I think it was Cinema Sickness. I think he said the same thing. It's kind of like, yeah, Holly and Bridget, they're fine. Nothing wrong with them. But Kendra, when you watch the show, Kendra kind of does tend to be the one who's kind of like, Kendra kind of tends to be the one who kind of acts out. She's the one who's kind of like always like trying to, like, "Bleh," like always trying to like ham it up for the camera and stuff like that. And like, she kind of always feels like she's got to be on all the time. Like she's always got to like be doing something to try to entertain and everything else. And but of course, everybody knows the situation. Like Hugh Hefner, these three girls were his girlfriends and stuff. And and that's the thing though too. It's like in the show it kind of runs the gamut that some people thought, well, these three girls were nothing but gold diggers and whores, and um like they were using him to get what they wanted and everything else, or he was using them, and so I mean there was always that kind of back and forth between it, because you had the three girls, they were his girlfriends. And but when you watch the show, all three girls have their own distinct personality. I mean, Holly was kind of more of a glamorous girl, kind of, Holly's, very easy to like on the show. I think she is anyway. She's very easy to like. I mean, she has a good sense of humor. Her whole, she considers her whole role to be the the devoted girlfriend to Hugh Hefner and everything, and she always wanted to love him and um, be in a real relationship with him. And she does admit on the show numerous times. She's all like, she's like, don't get me wrong, I love Bridget and Kendra, but I don't really like this whole relationship thing. I'd rather I wouldn't mind if they were friends, but I'd rather it just be a one-on-one relationship with him. And throughout the show, at least for the first two seasons anyway. I know that later on that they all split up and they went their separate ways. Holly went on. I believe she got married, had children, and she had her own show called Holly's World, which I don't think lasted very long. Kendra, she went on. She married uh, I believe it's just a was he a football player, basketball player, Hank Basket? I think. Anyway, so she married him, and then she had her own reality show, Kendra, which I don't even know if that's even still on. But Bridget, she went on. She had her. Bridget's the one you really don't hear anything about anymore. She went on. She had her own show. I think it was for like Travel Channel or Discovery or something, where she was like showing like traveling to like exotic destinations and things like that and everything else. And so yeah, but on the show anyway, though, like you find out, kind of Holly is kind of more the glamorous girl. She kind of comes off as like the girl who might have been like a popular girl, kind of like a cheerleader in high school and stuff like that, and everything else. She kind of seems like she has that personality. Then you got Bridget. She's kind of like the very studious. Like she studies a lot. We find out like she's going to school and she's taking classes. She's wanting to get degrees in journalism and things like that. And so she's very much like the one who's always like working and studying and very smart and everything else. Also, you find out that like Bridget is like way into horror movies, my kind of girl. She's like way into horror movies. There's even an episode where Elvira shows up to the Playboy mansion and so like her, I mean, Bridget is just nuts. I mean, she's like, oh my god, it's Elvira. So she's like, following Elvira, wanting tips from her and everything. And the best part is like Elvira couldn't be more graceful about it, you know, because Elvira, we all know Elvira is just cool that way. She's just awesome like that. It's like Elvira is not the kind of person. Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's got her sense of humor and stuff like that, but she doesn't like. I think unless you were like nasty to her, Elvira is not really the kind of person who'd be nasty to you. But and then we go to Kendra. Kendra is very much, Kendra is the tomboy. She has very much like she's very much into sports, and she's into like gangster stuff. Like there's one episode they do a birthday party for her, and they're all like, yeah, we all know Kendra. She's very much into gangster stuff and rap and gangster rap and all this other kind of stuff. So she, it's her birthday, so she gets like a grill, and she gets like a the cup, that like gangsters have and all that stuff, and it's themed like Scarface and The Godfather and all that other kind of stuff. So all three girls have their own personalities, and I think it's kind of interesting though too that like in there's actually a really good picture of the three girls in their bikinis there, kind of denying you that, showing you that good. Anyway though, and but anyway though, it's like yeah, there's these girls. They kind of go on all these different adventures and stuff like that, and they have a lot of fun. And that's kind of the thing. I mean, if you're into that kind of thing, this will draw you into it, and that's what I like about the show. Is like the first episode, they're all getting dolled up because they're going to like a premiere for George Lucas. George Lucas winning a Lifetime Achievement Award, so the show is kind of about that. But you're also introducing the girls and kind of get to know their personalities and stuff. And then you got one episode that introduces probably my favorite. If I had to pick a playmate, this would probably be my favorite one. Would be Sarah Jean Underwood. I'm going on record as saying that probably yeah, my favorite playmate would have to be Sarah Jean Underwood. But then you kind of realize like, oh, Hugh Hefner. I mean, this guy. I mean, he could do it, because I mean, he created Playboy and became a multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever he was, and I mean, he could do whatever he wanted. You realize like Hugh Hefner had quite a few eccentricities in his life. Like at one point, they all decide they're going to go out to dinner. And so he takes, they're introducing these new girls, that are going to pose for Playboy and stuff like that. And so they go out to dinner, and Hugh Hefner, he's not going to eat what the restaurant has. He brings his own food. He brings like written instructions how to prepare his food, and then the chef has to do it accordingly and everything else. And because of that, it's taking time. So Hugh Hefner is getting irritated because but yeah, I mean, he had quite a few. And like I believe it was like his birthday was there's an episode his birthday was coming up, and because Casablanca is like his favorite movie of all time, that he ends up like everybody has to attend. Everybody at the Playboy Mansion has to attend a screening of Casablanca. He's got like of course, he's Hugh Hefner, so the guy's got like a huge movie theater built in the Playboy Mansion, so everybody has to go in and watch, and stuff like that. But they got a couple of Halloween episodes on here that are really fun and interesting to watch. The girls, there's one where Bridget believes that the Playboy Mansion is haunted, and so they're trying to bring in like psychics, and they bring in like Barry Taff, who he was involved with like the entity case and other cases like that. Bring them in, and they're like checking, and they're like telling them this is what we use this and we use that, and this is what this is for, and all this other kind of stuff. And then there's like then they bring in a medium, who the medium turns out to be real bullshit. They try to do a seance and stuff like that. Um, and then you realize like Bridget, she totally gets into Halloween. She decorates her room like like a month in advance and stuff. And she's all like like one, she's I'm gonna go as Corpse Bride and everything else, and so she gets herself all dolled up like the character from Corpse Bride. Then there's like another Halloween episode where what was it they decide they're going to take the tour where they go, they take the hearse that's like made up kind of like a limo, and they take this tour around LA where they're or Hollywood, where they're showing the like okay, this is like where the Black Dahlia was found murdered, this is this is that, so they're going on a trip doing that for Halloween and stuff like that. And um but yeah, I mean, there's actually some really good episodes on the show. Like I said, the biggest thing is though is like, would the personalities of the three girls draw you into it? In my case, they did. Like I said, Kendra can be the one who kind of gets on your nerves after a while, but Holly and Bridget really do kind of draw you in there. They just seem like sweet, fun girls having a good time and stuff. It's kind of interesting though too, because when they, the first time they get Hugh Hefner asks them to, well, he doesn't ask him. He tells them, like, you girls have been wanting to be in Playboy for a long time. Here's your chance. We're going to do a spread with the three of you and everything, and they're so happy about it and everything else. So they do their spread, and then, they're posing naked, and they look gorgeous and beautiful and delicious and all this other kind of stuff. And so they do the first spread where it's kind of like the three of them together in a bed and everything else, and you kind of realize like Hugh Hefner is doing a little bit of a power play, because by the time it gets to season two, he decides he wants to do another one with them. But he's kind of like, you kind of get the feeling he's kind of like, yeah, it's like I like to show off my girlfriends, and let everybody believe that this is the fantasy, even though like all in reality, like all three girls had their own rooms at the Playboy Mansion and stuff like that. And he kind of like had certain times where he was with Bridget, certain times he was with Kendra, certain times he was with Holly and stuff like that. Most of the time he was with Holly, um, but yeah, but they were kind of like, but then the girls are kind of like, hey, we like to show that, that we have our own personalities. Bridget's into horror movies and stuff, so they do. So they're all like, we like to do a spread where it's kind of like everybody's separate. And so they do, and so he finally agrees to it, and it turns out it works out really well, because she's all like, so Holly does this one her own spread where it's all beautiful. She's all beautiful and glamorous and into beauty and stardom and all this other kind of stuff. Then Bridget, because she's into horror movies and stuff, they do this one where she's kind of into she's kind of like made up to be like Fay Ray, being ready to be taken by King Kong. Then they do one with Kendra, because she's the tomboy, the sports fanatic. She's made up, like you know wearing like a football jersey and not much else and all that other kind of stuff. So and then it shows them like going out promoting the magazine and stuff like that. They go on the View, and they said like they mentioned that kind of like, yeah, the whole point was basically we were excited to be going on to the View and everything else, but then they pretty much bring us on there just so they can call us a bunch of whores and stuff like that. There are a lot of very interesting and fun episodes on this show, and like one where it's Bridget's birthday, and Hugh Hefner sets up he sets up kind of like a murder mystery theme party, like a who done it. They bring in these actors and all this other kind of stuff, and they're doing this kind of like murder mystery thing, but it's for a birthday party and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I actually enjoyed the show. I'm not gonna, it's gonna take me hours if I sit here and keep going through. I've already gone through a number of the episodes, but it's gonna take me hours if I sit here and try to go through all of them. But yeah, I mean, I actually don't mind this show. I mean, like I said, I can't stand. Um, like I said, I can't stand reality TV shows, but this is like the one that I can tolerate. This was a lot of fun. It was fun while it lasted. I admit I never saw any of the episodes when I believe it was season 6 where the three girls left, and then it was Hugh Hefner moved on, and he got the other two. He got the twins and the one other girl. They became his girlfriends. But I mean, hopefully all the girls went on. They did well and everything else in life, and but yeah, I mean, from what I saw, of this the first two seasons are pretty good. And like I said, if I ever get the chance, I'd like to come across and pick up the other 3 or 4 seasons of the show and have it all to watch. But I liked it. I like the show. I like the girls. I like their personalities, stuff like that. Of course, yeah. I mean, like we all admit, who wouldn't want to have been in Hugh Hefner's shoes? I mean, pretty much like it is kind of debated though on the show. I think that people kind of wonder like the deal with him because Holly really did want them to get married, which he never married her. She wanted to have babies with him. He didn't want to have children with her and stuff like that. A lot of people do kind of debate whether he was. Some people think that like he was. I mean, I know it's unfair to say because man's not here to defend himself, but I know a lot of people think that he had his heart broken when he was younger by this girl that he was in love with, and then he just decided, girls are gonna lie to me, they're gonna cheat anyway. I may as well just have fun with it, and that's when he started like, hey, I'm just gonna create Playboy, and the girls will come and the girls will go, and all this other kind of stuff. And then some people debated that he was kind of like just like emotionally unavailable or unattached or something like that. And he just, he was kind of like a, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free kind of guy. And just, like, hey, I can just, now I'm rich. I have all this money, I have all this and that and everything else. And, it's like, I can just pretty much nail all these girls if I want to and stuff whenever I want. So I mean, there's kind of some debate there, and I mean, it's interesting. I mean, if you're interested in the Playboy Mansion, like what it's like there, and it's nice. You don't have like naked girls all the time running around. Like what your fantasies might be, but I mean, you could tell that Hugh Hefner was very much into building his own world there. That he had the idea was he tried to put everything he could ever possibly want in one location. You know, and they talk about at first the Playboy Mansion was in Chicago, then they moved to L.A. and I think a lot of the reason why the place that they bought in L.A. was bigger. There's episodes with him and Barbie Benton where she comes in and everything else, and they kind of talk about the past and stuff. But anyway, though, I mean, if you're ever interested, and if you're kind of interested in that, I mean, Hugh Hefner, rest in peace, but anyway, though, yeah, I mean, if you're ever interested in finding out that what the show is about, and if you're ever interested in like what goes on at the Playboy Mansion, I mean, yeah, you do get the sense some of it is staged. I mean, hell, even in the there's commentaries on all the episodes by the girls, and they do interviews and all this other kind of. And they admit some stuff was staged and everything else, but yeah, if you're ever interested, I mean, check this out. So they even come with bonus features. There's uncensored audio, never before seen pilot presentation, commentaries on all episodes, episode promos, sexy deleted scenes, personality test for Holly, Bridget, and Kendra, outrageous photo gallery, over 200 pictures. And then on season 2, you got commentary on all episodes, optional uncensored audio, sexy deleted scenes, episode promos, bloopers. So yeah, I mean, if you want to see the girls naked, you get to see that. You want to see if you're interested about the Playboy Mansion, you get to see that too. So yeah, I say if you're ever interested, you come across these, check it out. Playboy's Girls Next Door. So anyway, that's going to wrap it up. We've gone on more than long enough. If anybody took the time to watch this video, I thank you for watching it. I appreciate you for watching it. I hope you liked the video. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. This is Sinema77, horror and cult film lover, and we got more good stuff to talk about. So hopefully you'll come back, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.